you are back home in you're in America, right? You're not in London still, correct?
No, I'm back home in Louisiana,
Oh,
God's country.
okay. Yes, that's right. And congratulations on getting the key. What was that like?
Oh man, it was awesome.
Oh,
My goodness,
good start.
it was awesome. It was awesome, Ariel. It kind of came out of nowhere too. I didn't know that was going to happen. I was excited about it. Got to meet the mayor. Got to talk about some plans of future stuff we're going to do in Louisiana. So it's all good, man.
What does the key actually like get you? Like, does that allow you to do certain things, or is it just more of a symbolic thing?
Yeah, it's just more of a symbolic thing. It's I don't know what it gets you. Maybe out of a speeding ticket.
Yes. Any truth to the rumor that Mr. Cormier tried to sabotage the whole thing and get it canceled because he was feeling jealous?
I wouldn't be surprised if he was trying to pull some strings behind the scenes, or he's salty. But whenever you living in wine country, uh, he,
He's a little bougie now. He has forgotten his roots, and clearly you haven't, and that's why you're getting the key to the city and representing the state so well. So like I said, you were in London for that press conference. What was your biggest takeaway from the press conference? First time you get to square off with Khabib, be in that environment. What did you walk away from the press conference with?
Ariel, I've been doing this a long time, and I don't really take a whole lot from stare downs or confrontations or talking with people, but it was smooth. I felt like he had a lot of respect, and that was pretty much it, man.
That was actually my biggest takeaway. It does really feel like he has a lot of respect for you. Like he is not overlooking you or dismissing you as a threat to him. Did you get that impression as well?
Yeah, I think he knows the type of fighter I am, and he knows the way I push myself and would do anything for the victory. So he knows he's got a test ahead of him.
Why did this press conference happen in London?
I'm not 100%. I think maybe the start time of the show in Abu Dhabi, they might be targeting the European market.
Oh.
I'm not 100%, but that's what I think.
Will you have to go to Abu Dhabi to promote it as well?
I haven't heard anything about that. I hope not. We'll see.
Why do you hope not?
Because, dude, that's a long travel for a day of or for an hour press conference or whatever it will be,
Right. So with that in mind, prior to the fight, like when you're ready to actually go to the fight, how many days in advance will you go?
Thinking 10 days, but I'm actually leaving next week to start camp, and I'm going to talk to my team and sit down with everybody and try to get some stuff ironed out before we really get into it.
Okay. And so so now that you're back home in Louisiana, like will you still like is this technically like pre-camp for you? Are you still training? Are you still working, or do you only do like of course you're working out and things like that, but are you only doing fight specific things when you get to ATT?
Yeah, so right now I kind of would call I'm 12 weeks out. So right now I kind of call a pre-camp. I'm just kind of cleansing my body, drinking a lot of water, you know, eating healthier foods. And I'm going to do 2 weeks of that and then 10 weeks of real training camp.
Is
just
it
prepping my body for
Sorry, say it again.
Just kind of prepping my body for the workload that's about to come with these next 10 weeks.
Is it fair to say, I feel like it's maybe a crazy question or a silly question because it might be obvious to some, but do you feel like this is going to be the toughest training camp of your career just because of how good he is and what's at stake?
You know, every training camp is tough. This one's just going to be some different areas we haven't really had to focus on. Not that we've ignored these areas in the wrestling or mat grappling department. It's just been different fights. My last few fights have just been different preparation. We aren't going to switch a whole lot up, but we're definitely going to be doing a lot more mat grappling and putting myself in uncomfortable positions with some bigger guys. I'm excited about it, man. These are the camps and fights you grow from, and that's what I'm all about, man, is improving.
Will you be bringing in anyone specific to help emulate his style?
We have a few great wrestlers already on the team, but we will bring in a couple more guys.
Anyone in particular that you can share?
One guy from Philadelphia, a guy named Sidney Outlaw. I went to Florida a few weeks ago and did a week of training just to stay sharp and stay honest. And he was in helping some guys, and I really felt like we meshed well. And I thought his level of, I think he's a Renzo Gracie black belt, but his level of wrestling and putting his jiu-jitsu together with his wrestling was incredible. He's a decently sized guy, very good technique, and we've asked him to come back in for me. I just felt really good work with him.
I saw that you were training with Steve Mako. I feel like he's going to be a very valuable piece of your training camp.
Of course, Mako will, as well as Muhammad Lawal. You know, King Mo is going to be part of this camp.
Oh, nice.
And I'm excited about it. You know, King Mo has experience with Khabib, but also a lot of experience with world-class wrestling and grappling.
Oh, that's fascinating, because we had King Mo on the show last week, and of course he retired. He said he's going to be a part of the coaching staff at ATT. I think he's one of the most brilliant minds in the game. I think that he's going to be a great coach. I think he could be an analyst as well. And he actually trained with Khabib at AKA while he was there?
Yeah. Well, what's crazy about this whole thing coming full circle is probably about 4 or 5 years ago, King Mo told me, he said, Dustin, I'm telling you, you're going to be the one to beat Khabib. And this was years and years and years ago. I wasn't even in the position to even talk about fighting the guy.
Wow. That is insane. Why did he say that? Did you ever ask him?
Because I'm the best in the world, Ariel. Why do you think?
I was just wondering if there was like a style that you had, or something that he saw in you that he thought you'd be the kryptonite.
Yeah, I think just the way I put everything together. My jiu-jitsu and grappling is underrated. Sometimes I put myself in bad positions, like I can say in the Eddie Alvarez fight, but I'm just so comfortable, like jumping guillotines and stuff like that. I know my fight IQ says don't do it, but my trust in myself says have fun, and stuff like that. You know, people see that on the inside of camps and know how good I am and know what I'm capable of. So I'm excited, man. Mike Brown, Steve Mako, Muhammad Lawal, we're going to be wrestling for the next 10 weeks.
Will King Mo be in your corner?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure yet. I need to get to camp, like I said, and iron out all the details about the travel, my corner.
Okay.
And we'll see, but he could be.
Okay. Wow. That would be interesting as well. You know, it's interesting also because in MMA these days, it's very rare that you finish a fight and you know who's next, because there's so much politics involved. And, you know, back in the day, you fight and then you know who's the number one contender. You move on, you defend your title, etc. In your case, kind of a throwback situation, you knew the night you won against Max Holloway who was next. You knew that it was Khabib. And so that was April. By the time you fight, it's 5 months. And so, and now you just saw him, but you're still 12 weeks away. Do you find that you have to like talk to yourself about not getting too amped up, not pushing yourself too much so that you don't, you know, run out of gas too early in the process?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as I fought Max, started preparing for Khabib.
I may have lost him there.
Probably hurting and just tired. And, you know, I've been doing this a long time, like I said.
Okay.
Yeah.
We lost you briefly, but now you're back.
Yeah, I said if I would have started preparing for Khabib as soon as I finished the fight with Max, that would have been too early. You know, I would have burned myself out. But this isn't my first rodeo, and I'm kind of starting to balance everything a little bit better. And I think 2 weeks pre-camp, 10 weeks hard camp, training camp is the perfect. My whole career has prepared me for this fight.
Did you have any concerns that someone would, you know, cut you off, that Conor would come in, that Ferguson would come in, that something would happen that would stop you from getting this opportunity? Were you at all worried at any point?
I wasn't worried, so to say, but I know this is a crazy sport and nothing's for sure until we're punching each other and the cage is locked, you know. But I also had faith in the organization that, you know, that's what interim belts mean. I'm next.
I know there was a big negotiation with Khabib to get this fight done. Was there a negotiation with you as well?
I flew in last Monday and sat down with Dana and Hunter and Sean and kind of spoke about this whole situation and everything, but we're happy to go. We're good to go. Everything's signed and the fight's on, man.
Okay. So is this a meeting that you called?
Yeah.
Okay. Were you unhappy with something?
No, I wasn't unhappy. I just wanted to iron some stuff out and talk. And I'm a pay-per-view partner now. I wanted to just sit down and talk about the whole situation.
Okay. Because you're champion, you want those points.
I earned those points.
Yeah, you have. Why, were they not giving it to you initially?
No, they were.
Okay. Okay, fair enough.
I just had a couple questions about the whole new ESPN structure and the way the landscape of the pay-per-view has changed over the last few months.
Okay.
I just wanted to sit down and talk to these guys and express the way I felt, and they had no problem. They sat down with me. I flew from the East Coast to Vegas. We had a meeting, probably lasted an hour, and then I flew to London to the press conference. So everybody's good to go, man.
Okay, wow. Yeah, because there was I don't know if you saw this, a rumor that like one half of the deal wasn't done, and that, and he was talking about it, so that led people to believe that maybe you weren't in. But none of that was really true. You just wanted to sit down and iron some things out. Is that accurate?
Yeah, that's exactly. I just wanted to have a couple questions answered, ask them a few questions, pick their brain about some
Okay. Do you have any
situations with the new pay-per-view?
Yeah. Do you have any concerns about this being in Abu Dhabi at all?
No, but the time change and the dry climate is going to be different than Florida for sure. But other than that, man, wherever they set that octagon up is going to be my home. So I'm not worried about anything.
Is it going to be outdoors?
No, I heard it's going to be inside. I believe it might be an arena built inside of a huge outdoor arena, possibly.
Whoa, that's wild. Because the first time they were there was outdoors, and they just built like a makeshift arena. But this will be covered because it was very sweaty. It was like very muggy.
Yeah, that's what I've heard. I heard this one, and it's really hot.
Yeah.
So I heard this is going to be indoor arena.
Okay. Did you watch the Ferguson-Cerrone fight?
I did.
What did you think
I was pumped about that fight, man.
What did you think of Ferguson's performance?
I honestly think that guy gets it done because when he's locked in on the fight, he's in it to the death. He's so mentally strong when he commits his mind to something, I believe. Technically, I don't see anything crazy special, the guy's a great fighter, but I just think his belief in himself is what's carried him through this win streak, and the fact that he's been able to beat guys who I believe are technically better fighters. He just outfights them. You can be so good at a certain thing, but on fight night, that 15 minutes or that 25 minutes is all that matters, and he knows how to lock in.
Are you starting to get the sense, Dustin, that we're moving away from the quote-unquote money fight era? Because I noticed Khabib talk about like, oh, Conor's going to have to win a few fights before he can talk about me. Ferguson saying, I want, a title shot next. There you are getting that title shot. Do you feel like this period that we were in a couple of years ago where people were just kind of jumping around to try to get the most money possible, regardless of what's at stake or if a belt's on the line, whatever, we're moving away from that and we're going back to an older time where it's like, all right, I want to be the champion because if I'm the champion, I'm going to get paid the most. That's the way it should be.
I hope so, but I'm sure there's going to be guys here and there who try to sell tickets by acting crazy and stuff. But, I don't know if we are moving, we will never fully be far removed from it. It's always going to be right there.
Right. What a story it would be, though. I mean, I can't, just thinking about it kind of gives me chills. Imagine you beat Khabib. You're the first guy to beat him. You get that belt. Let's say you go through Tony Ferguson, and some way, somehow, you rematch Conor after all these years as champion. The revenge from UFC 178. I mean, you couldn't script a better story than that, right? I mean, I know that fight meant a lot to you and you weren't happy with how it went and you wanted that back. That's an amazing story. I feel like the stars could align here for you if possible.
It could, man. The beautiful thing is it's all in my hands.
Yeah.
I can't imagine, and I do imagine stuff like that happening. But none of that happens without me being victorious September 7th. So that's all I'm focused on right now, honestly. That's where all my energy is going. And I'm just going to show the world. I'm going to shock the world. I'm going to be the undisputed world champion, man.
Last thing, I know it's early, but have you already, do you foresee an ending? Is there, I know you like to think about these things, like has a specific ending continued to creep into your thoughts?
I haven't had, I'm sure I will as we get further into camp, but I just have a feeling I'm going to finish this guy. I'm not only going to beat him, I'm going to stop him.
Wow. What a scene that would be. Unbelievable. Thanks for doing this, Dustin. I really appreciate it. Great stuff at the press conference. It was not your typical, theatrics, but it was honestly a breath of fresh air. It was nice to watch. It was good to see the respect between the two of you. I appreciate you doing it. Good luck out there in Florida, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you again.
Thank you so much, man. My pleasure coming on. Sorry about dropping the phone 10 times.
No problem. It's all good. There he is, Dustin Poirier, interim lightweight champion, number one contender, of course, at 155, the man who will face Khabib Nurmagomedov in the title unification bout on September 7th in Abu Dhabi. Wow.